Hello everyone, we are team number 2. I am Ilu. Here are my teammates Sharon, Xinwan, Emily, and Thomas. We are here to give our recommendation to HarperCollins Canada. Move to our executive summary. We are defining the main problem for HarperCollins Canada is whether there's a market of business books focused on diversity. And after our analysis, we found there is definitely a market to expand, and we recommend Roxane Gaye's book. And we are going to give our analysis through problem statement, decision criteria, and analyze different alternatives and give our recommendation. And I'm passing it to Sharon now.
Thank you, Yulu. So the book publishing industry has been facing a lot of changes within its environment. Number one is that there has been increased competition between the publishing firms, and that has been causing difficulty for a lot of the firms to create a best-selling book. Number two is that there's increased interest in diversity. A lot of these firms have been pushing for books that have themes surrounding diversity. Number three is that there's innovation in the millennial category, and that is through the creation, some examples of this is the creation of an app called Hook, interest in BuzzFeed videos, and the expansion of the new adult category that supports self-published authors. And there's also been increased online retail that has overtaken other forms of distribution. So after analyzing our case, we've decided that the main problem is that we need to decide if we want to pursue the untapped market of business books with a focus on diversity, or avoid the market altogether and seek a new one. Some underlying issues with this is that the diversity aspect may overshadow the quality of the book, the possibility of creating a boom and bust cycle. Because diversity books are about current issues, after the publishing and the producing process, the issue may become irrelevant, or there might not be demand for it. Millennials may not have an interest in the topic. It may only target a niche group, and it may be pigeonholed as a diversity book.
Okay, so for our first issue that we addressed, it was whether this was an untapped market or not. So we first looked at the business market and found that 60% of millennials today anticipate going to graduate school or holding a professional job, meaning that there was interest in business books. In addition to this, there's an interest in entrepreneurship, as there are an increase of startups today. And then looking at the diversity side, 58% say that diversity strengthens the workplace. As well, we are the most diverse generation to date, as everyone is very inclusive of different races and ethnicities, meaning that there's also an interest in this market. So next we had to decide which book we wanted to choose. So the decision criteria that we used was the consumer interest in the main topic, if it appeals to a larger audience rather than just a niche audience, the title of the book and what it communicated to the readers, if it had a clear concept and formula to success, and then the author's engagement and online presence within its community of readers.
According to the decision criteria, we evaluated 3 different books, the first of which is Toxic Femininity in the Workplace by Ginny Hogan. Now, we believe that although this is a strong book, it fails to meet some of our criteria. First of all, there's somewhat limited consumer interest, as it will largely only appeal to the women segment. It is also a niche diversity-first book, as people likely won't just read the book to learn about business. It also lacks the prescriptive nature that is required for it to gain widespread acceptance. The second book we looked at was Diversified by June Sarpong. This book has excellent characteristics, but it fails to meet one key criteria. Although it has broad overall appeal, it is truly a diversity-first book and business second. Despite prescribing solutions to integrate diversity into the workplace, we feel that the diversity aspect will really overshadow the business aspect of the novel. The final alternative that we feel is really strong is Roxane Gaye's currently untitled book on how to improve your writing in the workplace. First of all, we believe that this book is extremely broad appeal. It is a business first book and diversity second, and will not just appeal to a niche audience, but will apply to the grand millennial segment. It is also clearly prescriptive and of real value for millennials that they can't just get from a news article or any other source. For that reason, we're going to decide to go with Roxane Gaye, and I'm going to give it to Thomas to really further discuss our recommendation.
So as already discussed, we had 5 decision criteria and 3 alternatives that we decided, and ultimately we found that the book on writing by Roxane Gay, that's currently untitled, was the best possible solution. The reason for our weight of criteria that we can be outlined here is that we've obviously weighted more heavily consumer interest into the topic because we found that that would really appeal to why they wanted to purchase the book. Additionally, we found that the book that was untitled on writing by Roxane also had ranked very, very highly on useful concepts as well as the author's platform and its visual engagement with its readers. We found that she was a very recognizable author, being New York Times bestseller, and she had a very great outreach through her Twitter platform and social media that really intrigued with the millennial segment. And finally, it provided a very useful concept for writing and practical, and included all different forms of readers or people that want to improve their writings within the millennial segment, so it appealed to greater than just a niche audience. The implementation recommendation of action plans that we wish to offer is not only to step outside the Indigo distribution channel, but also promote the distribution through Amazon. We found that e-commerce platform buying habits for millennials have been growing by 44% within the segment of the US market, and this is a great opportunity to capture both the e-commerce platform segment as well as the physical location. So having an appropriate product mix between Indigo as well as Amazon will offer HarperCollins an effective way to sell and capture the overall millennial market. And finally, we have decided and concluded that the untitled book on writing by Roxane Gay will ultimately be the best solution to create a overall gross of sales within and tap into the millennial market with a focus on diversity. And ultimately, we think that this can be her next bestseller within this industry. And we'd now like to open the floor to any 2-minute questions if anyone had any questions about our topics or recommendations.